Hi there, welcome. A mystery plant-based infection starts a terrible virus epidemic in this gripping horror story. Sick people go through terrible metamorphosis, their broken bodies combining with moss, flowers, even trees to create hideous hybrids of nature and death. Often lurking in wait to strike, these skeleton zombie-like entities known as the reclaimed fit quite well in woodlands and overgrown environments. Some see this as nature's payback against humans for environmental damage. Ethan, a young guy devoid of past, wakes in a wrecked car years after the epidemic. He remembers bits of an automobile accident he had while driving with Emma, his girlfriend. Disoriented, he searches for her among the ruins of a once decertified metropolis, only to discover it's strangely vacant. Then he comes upon a truck carrying a man clutching a rifle. Ethan begs his case and shows his amnesia. But one of the early signs of the virus is memory loss, thus the careful man chooses not to take any chances. A gunfire from the shadows knocks him down before he can launch himself. Suddenly removing the remaining passengers of the truck, a mystery woman appears. Emma warns Ethan of the danger, hiding in the wilds, even as he says he is looking for her. Ethan muses over the accident, their trek to the lake, their final time together as she tries to restart the abandoned truck and clear the bodies. She asks Ethan for assistance as she transports the dead. But before he can help, tiredness consumes him and he falls, leaving the mysterious woman to handle by herself. Moments later, Ethan wakes up in a strange room, not knowing how he got there. He treads carefully down the stairs and finds the enigmatic woman who saved him. She names herself May. Her eyes widen with concern when Ethan talks of amnesia. She presents him new clothes, a small yet consoling act. Ethan says Emma and he had packed supplies and intended to ride out the viral apocalypse in a remote cottage they had set aside. Emma most certainly is waiting for him there right now, he insists. She tells Ethan not to touch anything before leaving the room, therefore exposing her house as rigged with protection's trap system. As Ethan walks outside pondering about May's actual character, curiosity wins out. Looking about him, he finds a reclaimed whose physique is exactly matched with the environment. May introduces the zombie as Myrtle as she busies herself with a solar power generator, warning Ethan not to approach as long as he stays his distance would Myrtle not attack. Eager to be of service, Ethan claims generator knowledge. Surprising confidence, he repairs the generator, leaving May stunned and discounting her questions. Ethan asks May whether she ever gets lonely since he knows the house is far into the wilderness. She says jokingly that Myrtle is company. May bolts the door as they return inside, surprising Ethan. She tells him she doesn't intend to kill him, teasing him that if she tried, he could readily overwhelm her. May abruptly grabs a gun and hands it to Ethan, challenging him to shoot her. Startled and confused, Ethan declines, not sure he understands her goals. Then May shows the twisted catch. He would have perished right away if he had pulled the trigger, as her design of the pistol is especially unique. Later, Ethan pedaling a bike creates kinetic energy while helping the solar batteries be recharged. May encourages him to dance as music plays in the background, but seeing his unease, she offers a game of cards instead. Ethan thinks he had to find Emma following the game as he pledged to guard her. Warning him he wouldn't want to find himself on the wrong side of Myrtle, May tells him to wait until dawn. She tells him to relax and then turns and sleep. Ignoring May's advice, Ethan leaves carrying a metal bar for defense against any reclaimed. Hoping to locate Emma, he slips into the solar truck and drives off into the darkness toward the cabin at Candle Lake. When he gets to Candle Lake, instead of Emma, he finds a mother and her son sheltering in the darkness. The woman disarms Ethan with a gun because she feels scared by his presence and demands his intentions. He assures her he means no damage and is just looking for his girlfriend. They suddenly hear approaching footsteps. One is reclaimed. They dash to close the entrance just in time, but the tired, outdated barrier cannot last very long. The woman struggles to break away, and the reclaimed explodes through capturing her. Ethan grabs the woman's gun among the confusion, but to his dismay, it is empty. Desperate, he grabs a hammer from the ground and repeatedly hammers the regained skull, at last releasing the woman from its grasp. They then strengthen the door to stop other reclaimed from getting in, but Ethan is shocked to find the attacked reclaimed still moving even with its crushed head. Seeing Ethan poses no threat to her family, the woman introduces herself as Jolene. She concedes Ethan would have been killed if the gun had been loaded. Intrigued about the bandage on his arm, Jolene probes him about his injuries. Ethan says he was in an accident and Emma, his doctor girlfriend, had bandaged the cut. Jolene says she has spent weeks in the hut and only observed plant-infected organisms. Ethan says Emma will most certainly show up, as this is their assigned place. Moments later, Ethan falls asleep while Jolene stands guard. Covering in blood, he wakes up the next morning perplexed about what happened. Jolene is laying in a pool of blood with already growing plants from her body. Knowing she had contracted it, he runs into the forest. He tries to gather his breath and notices Sam, Jolene's son, is a reclaimed feast. His amnesia is triggered by the horrific incident, therefore wiping his memory back to the accident with Emma. He is in a trance and sees a deceased lad with frayed clothing. Strangely close, he wonders who the lad might be. Abruptly in a panic, a woman with a mutant, blood-covered jaw runs toward him. She attempts but cannot talk. Ethan finds it difficult to identify her as the recaptured lady feasting on Sam. A gunshot abruptly ends their conversation, sending the woman sliding off the bridge carrying a bullet in her skull. May shows up stating the woman is no more human. Realizing Ethan's amnesia has returned, she again introduces herself. Emma messages them saying Ethan's amnesia is getting worse, but the phone dies because of an exhausted battery, so aggravating Ethan. May assures him she can charge the phone at her house, therefore soothing him. As the solar truck is now empty and useless, they ride a bike to May's residence. As he passes a gas station, flashbacks of a time he shot a thief. Trying to attack Emma grazed his memory, but he is cut short when he collapses, jolting back to reality. Thinking it's another amnesia relapse, May repeats her normal introduction, but Ethan tells her he's good. Once at May's house, they find evidence of a break-in. Looking about, they find a man hiding under a bush, claiming he discovered the house while looking for his wife Tom. The man breaks in believing it to be abandoned in heat of the apocalypse. Skeptical, May disarms him as Tom claims he just has one gun and wants no conflict. When he requests a dinner, May offers a deal. One hot meal for one chore. Ethan and Tom cut logs later for firewood. Intrigued, Tom probes Ethan about his relationship to May. She is helping Ethan look for someone he lost, Ethan says. Then brings them inside for dinner, but covertly orders Ethan to indicate he isn't hungry. Even hungry, Ethan follows May's advice. Following their dinner, Tom discusses his wife, Franny, disclosing that she recalled scavenging close to a house with power 10 days ago, the last time he saw her. Tom believes she must have been kidnapped, convinced she cannot have fallen victim to the reclaimed. Ethan's thinking becomes foggy with the discourse over his lost lover. May tries to lead Ethan to rest as she realizes he might be going through another relapse, but he falls on the ground. May orders Tom to assist in lifting Ethan, but instead Tom points a revolver at her, verifying her fears. When May Tuesday that she will take it back when he's done, he grabs her gun and punches her. Tom soon finds himself sleepy, learning too late that May had rendered the food inactive. Fighting to keep conscious, Rose knocks him cold. Ethan wakes up later that evening to find Tom dead on the ground. Two men, revealed to be Tom's partners, enter the room with pistols just then. Ethan tries to warn of forthcoming May, but it is too late. They grab her and, fastening her to a chair, mistook Ethan for May's son. They threaten to shoot him to break her emotionally, but Tom comes to consciousness right in time to stop their scheme. Tom suspects May has done the same to Emma and intended to kill her as well when she drugged her. Accusing May of abducting and maybe killing her wife, Franny confirming they will kill May if they uncover proof, he exhorts Ethan to investigate the house with him. Ethan finds Emma's locket validating Tom's theory. They also discover a beaded necklace belonging to Franny, confirming she had been there, and a bag including May's trophies from her victims. Seeing enough, Ethan confronts May carrying a gun. May says Emma is dead but disputes killing her. Ethan asks May how long he has had amnesia, as he knows the story is more complex. Intrigued by this disclosure, Tom probes Ethan regarding his arm damage, but Ethan finds it difficult to recall. When May tells Ethan he is already dead, virus infected, Ethan at last falls apart. He understands he was the reclaimed killing Jolene and her son. Tom's friend seeking a closed area sets off a booby trap explosion and discovers one of their buddies altered within. Frustrated, Tom snatches May's rifle and aims it at her only to have his hand blow off. Ethan's reverted impulses are triggered by blood, hence he attacks and feeds on Tom. Ethan attempts furiously to throw the human meat from his system once more, but May promises him he won't remember. Ethan's memories vanish the next morning. He wakes up. May returns as a buddy, and they walk out into the wilderness hunting together. He discovers the bandage around his arm hunting. Closely observing, images of his past flash before him. Let him notice the color of the heart Emma had sketched on the bandage changed. Not sure if May is really a buddy, he raises his revolver at her. May says she ran out of red markers and admits she changed the colors. She says he needs to be fed soon, and there is not time to explain. He removes the bandage just then, verifying that plants already growing from the damage are confirmed, and remembers being bitten by the creature he shot as it was aiming Emma. May admits she has been keeping him fresh and sane by feeding him new human flesh, therefore stopping the process of reclaiming metamorphosis. Her disclosure sets off memories of Emma being also compelled to kill others in order to feed him since the biting event stopped his transformation. His heart melts as he realizes May and Emma are the same person given the length of time she must have been working for. Emma says his youth is kept as long as he does not completely change and eat consistently. The illness also causes amnesia, so his memories fade. Heartbroken by her situation, Ethan shoots himself in the head trying to ease her suffering but quickly finds the bullet cannot kill him. Emma calls off his attempt at another shot. Locking lips in the process, they say they love one another. She bites his lip, causing blood during kissing. Realizing his taken-back impulses, he tries to shove her away. Emma tells him to keep on admitting she is letting go. The film closes with both of them clasping hands following her metamorphosis.